Have yourself a merry little laser dream. So yeah, it's been a while. Here we are, back again with a new video for you. Uh, Nothing too exciting planned. We're gonna do some Laserdisc pickups because we never do any Laserdisc content on this channel. So why not do some at Christmas time? So I'm just gonna start off with a couple. I've got some music discs through the post. First we've got is this Cyndi Lorpa, live from Paris. Been after this for a while. It's been evading me. Not too expensive. Excellent quality. What sort of hits you got? Change of Heart, one of my favourites. That's one of the main reasons we got it. Change of Heart. Goonies are good enough. She-Bop. True Colours. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Blah, blah, blah. Time After Time, of course. So if you like Cyndi Lauper, you're going to love that. Great quality, great singing. You know stuff, great concert. Now, this one I've been after for ages. I remember before, I don't have too many David Bowie Laserdiscs, despite being a big fan. But after this for ages, what do we think of Black Tie, White Noise, the album? Yeah, it's not too bad, but it's certainly a little bit indifferent in places. And I was a bit curious as to what this is. It's not exactly live performances. So they're kind of like mimed performances, which is strange. It's really an interview disc. He talks about his influence from Scott Walker and some of the covers they do on here. Plus it's got some of the videos from Miracle Goodnight, Jump They Say, Black Tie, White Noise. One for the fans, really. Right, where are we going to put these? Lastly, I've been after this for ages. Live from Martha's Vineyard. If you tuned into YouTube and look at Carly Simon live videos, you know what we're talking about here. Just wonderful. So, you got You're So Vain. Nobody Does It Better. Coming Around, Itsy Bitsy Spider. Fantastic. Long time coming, that one. Not very expensive. I overpaid for it ridiculously. I was trying to buy a Devo disc, but I think it was come from Germany, and the postage was high, so I thought I'll get another disc as well to make the postage worth it, and I got blown out of the water for the Devo disc, money-wise, and ended up overpaying for that. Not ridiculous, but it stung. Yeah. This one's not even a Laserdisc, but it's getting more expensive. Pick this up locally for £5. What a boon, because Michael Jackson records are going through the roof. This is the double LP of Dangerous. What do we need to say about that, really? The front-loaded end, the beginning of Dangerous. Jam, Why You Want to Trip on Me, In the Closet, Drives Me Wild, Remember the Time, Can't Let Her Get Away. Does it get any better from a Michael Jackson album? Despite Thriller, that's where it's at, I'm telling you. Oh, okay. Right, so I started seeing some Laserdiscs in my local area, which, if you're from the UK, you know this is not the best country to buy Laserdiscs in, let alone local pickups. It's rare. But about 15 miles from me, started seeing some discs pop up from two different sellers. So I messaged one of the guys saying, look, I see you've got a lot of auctions going. Can I buy a job lot and I'll just come and get them if I can get them for one lot? And I also messaged this other seller selling discs, but it turns out that was the same guy's son. They were just splitting it because, well, it turns out they had so much stuff. So one rainy Saturday morning, I'll go up to visit this guy, and he starts regaling me about his dad. They were all his dad's stock. His dad owned I'm not really sure if it was a film production company or a rental, but they had film stock. At one point, they had he said, between 20,000 and 30,000 Laserdiscs, which in the UK is crazy. I don't know if they were a distributor, but at some point they had a lockup which got burnt down in a barbecue accident, he was saying. They lost a bit of stock. He showed me some of the stock that had been burnt and subsequently rained upon. But he still had thousands left, of which I've seen some. He had loads of stuff. It was crazy. So there must have been 5 cars on his forecourt that were filled to the brim with either Laserdiscs, records, 8mm, 16mm. He had boxes of brand new sealed anime shows on, I think it must have been 8mm. Complete series of like Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo. These things are going for crazy money. He was saying some of the stuff he sold, it's just gone to shit. I think he was going on about Good, Bad and the Ugly. We had that on 16mm maybe. And it was going to shit. It was like fading out, but someone paid top dollar for it. People love this stuff. I saw some of the projectors. He had 8mm, 16mm standard like CRT projectors. I saw some of the Laserdisc players he had. They were like Philips Laservision. Up to like from that early up till 90s Pioneer units. Some looked like they were brand new in the box. Loads of projectors, record players, like music consoles. The stock this guy's got is crazy, and he's just selling the whole lot out. So I just gave him £100. I mean, he bought a load of discs up in the car, and I just went through. Some I picked out from the eBay auctions, but I just had a quick sift through there. I need to get back up there, but he's got so many, it's difficult to sort of penetrate. Anyway, so I've got a load of discs. I'm not going to dwell too fast because I got these about 2 months ago, and I can't remember the info. I'm sorry. Obviously, we'll know something about some of these, but some of these are unknown to me. So we'll see. But anyway, let's start with some anime porn. Urotsukudoji 2. This is Legend of the Demon Womb. Apologies for my appalling translation, but I'd only ever seen the first one, this, from manga VHS in the early 90s. So, Legend of the Demon Womb. This is from Laserdisc Entertainment Anime 18. I mean, it's not straight up porn, but it has pornographic and horror elements, definitely. Not for the faint of heart, that one. So the guy mainly knew that I wanted horror movies, and there just turned out to be lots of wolf-related movies. And this one was from the early 80s, Wolfen. This was surprising. Well, I don't know if it was surprising, but I'd never seen it before. It's quite excellent. So it's more about sort of Native American mysticism. Check that out. Now, this was an interesting one I deliberately went up for. So this is a double-header kind of anthology from George Romero and Dario Argento, Two Evil Eyes. So the first one, the George Romero one, was a bit more along the lines of like Twilight Zone, Amicus sort of thing. It's about it's like a rich guy on his deathbed, and his wife is trying to get to his will early. So I'm not going to give too much away, but it turns out that they've got him hypnotized, and they're trying to get him to sign away his money before he passes away. But there's some sort of stipulation where a lawyer says, now he's signed over his money, he has to live for at least another like 2 weeks before we can sort of release the money. And lo and behold, he like carks it the next day, and they don't know what to do. And there's a guy, the hypnotist guy's in on it, and he's like, I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll freeze the body, and then in a week's time or so, we'll unfreeze it, and then say he's passed away at that point. We'll stop people coming around the house, blah, blah. They put him in the freezer, and then the body starts talking. That was really good. Check that out. The Dario Argento one, it stars Harvey Keitel, and it just wasn't very good. I can barely remember. He's like an artist, and he's got a girlfriend that's in some sort of satanic cult. It was not so good. It was like, I don't know, no aim. This much underrated 90s sci-fi movie, Charlie Sheen and the Arrival. So people, I haven't seen this in years, but essentially Charlie Sheen's a bit of a sort of kook. They think he's sort of the guy that cries foul about conspiracy theories and whatnot, but it turns out in this case, aliens actually are here. That's underrated. I don't know why. I don't think Charlie Sheen's stock was particularly high at the time when this movie came out. But yeah, pretty good. That's a non-widescreen power release. Here we go. Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino, Devil's Advocate. So, standard cheap disc, AC3, widescreen, not very expensive Laserdisc at all, but I just like this movie because Al Pacino absolutely chews it up as Satan himself. So, it's got some quality. And an early Charlize Theron. Classic. Here we go. Furthering with the Wolves movies. Werewolf, sorry. This is Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer. Wolf. So, again, not your average werewolf movie. At the beginning, there's some things in it at the beginning. You're like, what is going on here? Not that you can't follow it, but it just seems a bit odd and a bit rough around the edges. But apparently Jack Nicholson was desperate to star in a werewolf movie. And in the end, I actually think this is quite good. I've seen it a number of times over the years, but you don't see people talking about it too much. Yeah, some of the dialogue, you're like, this is not good. But overall, there's some quality to be had here. Again, after this for a long time, this is an old analog disc of Donna Summer, One Hot Night. So really, primo Donna Summer career here. Kicks off with the fantastic disco version of MacArthur Park. You've got Love Is in Control on the radio. She Works Hard for the Money and State of Independence. Some crackers. Here we go. So, I don't know if this guy's dad had a wide range and taste of music, or they were some sort of stockists. I'll tell you, because one of the discs has actually got their label on it. But they've got all sorts of strange stuff. This is a cable movie from the States. Jennifer Rubin, Daniel Travani, One Sting Is Never Enough. What's Woman? So, I mean, this was quite entertaining. Essentially, it's about a model who runs a skincare company, but her kind of modelling career is running down. She wants to be the face of a new product, but they're saying, you know, you've passed it a bit. So starts looking into sort of regenerative techniques, and she's got the scientist, and they inject her with some sort of wasp serum, and what do you think happens? Judging by the title. Much better than you think, though. Okay, here we go. Here's a way old analog disc. Great artwork, though. Humongous Man or Beast. This movie was particularly boring. So, kind of a little bit Jason Voorhees in nature. Like, these teens in a boat wash up on an island, and they come across the Humongous, and basically he's ill of mind, ill of body, and it turns out his mum who was looking after him died a number of years, so he's been living off the land, eating all the animals, etc., and just a bit crazy, and they turn up, and obviously he starts to kill them all. Great cover. Just avoid, though. The movie is shit. This one I don't know anything about. I've not seen this yet. He's Whatever Scares You the Most. The Fear. I mean, it looks like he's made out of wood. Is that like... Who's in this? Starring Eddie Bowes, Darren Heems. Yeah, I don't know. Anyone got any ideas about The Fear? This is sealed. Horror movie of some description. Here we go. I actually do have the Blu-ray of this, but after the Laserdisc, sometime, well, before the Blu-ray came out, actually. Going up in money. Yeah, not cheap, so great to get this for about £5. This is La Planète Sauvage. Fantastic Planet. From the Rhone Group. Superbly animated movie. Gatefold. It tells the universal story of the struggles from freedom by a race of humanoid creatures called the Orms. So they've got like some overlords. Yeah, very interesting animated movie. La Planète Sauvage. Great to have that. Fantastic condition. Fantastic disc. Here we go. Such a strange array of stuff this guy had. High school honor student by day, Hollywood hooker by night. Her two worlds are about to collide. It's her choice, her chance, her life. This is Angel. I mean, couldn't miss this on the cover alone, right? High school student by day, Hollywood hooker by night. Not tucked into this yet, but I'm looking forward to that no end. Here we go. This is strange. Knew nothing about this whatsoever. I believe this is like a Hong Kong or Chinese movie. Creepy, demented, darkly witty, thrilling, and 100% fresh. Based, unfortunately, on real events. This is The Untold Story. Tai Seng Video Marketing presents a Century Traffic Entertainment release of a Union Investments production starring Anthony Wong, Danny Lee. I don't know much about this at all. I put it on briefly and the disc quality was not the best at all. Interesting to see that. Yeah, I just had to pick it up because, I don't know, just seemed interesting. God knows. And this one seemed interesting. Not too. I've seen some John Woo stuff, but I'm not completely familiar with his work. This is called Heroes Shed No Tears. Now, this just looks like an action movie. Look at the whole front cover is an explosion. So, Broterian quality, I think we're in. I think this is actually a PAL release as well. Heroes Shed No Tears. Intrigue. Here we go. I've never heard of this series before. I think the series is called Lemon Popsicle. Not too familiar with it. It seems a little bit like Porky's. I mean, I watched the first couple of scenes and essentially some guys are on beach and there's like a public shower and they're looking in and there's nude girls with their tits out. It's one of those kind of movies, and the guys are laughing about it. It's one of those kind of movies. Hot Bubblegum. So I believe part of the Lemon Popsicle series. Never heard of it before. Smutty movie, I guess. Hold on, I've got to let the cat in. So as the years advance, I'm getting a bit more interested in collecting adult discs. And one this guy had was Ginger Lynn in Trashy Lady. Japanese disc from a New Select video disc. And I put a little bit of this on and it was greatly disappointing. So it's like, there's kind of some sort of storyline there. And when they get down to it, there's kind of things directly blocking. So imagine like the dude's got a lady on all fours and he's like coming from behind, but there's like a sort of like a corner post of a bed in the way of the actual explicit scenery, as it were. Appallingly shit. Talking of appallingly shit, I mean, Unforgivable surfboard with Uzi scene. This is sequel to Escape from New York. John Carpenter's Escape from LA, but we already had Escape from New York, so I had to pick this up, right? THX, Dolby Digital, la-di-da. You know, Kurt Russell. I haven't seen it in a number of years. I'm willing to give it another spin. I know it's not the best. I just know it. So here we have, okay, so another low rent release, Guild Home Video Presentation. They love this sort of early marketing for Laserdiscs. I don't know if you can see this stuff at the bottom there. PAL C-Cam, 625 lines of resolution. When a Stranger Calls. So early analog disc. Some sort of horror I've not seen. Give that a go. Seemed interesting. I think this is a French movie from Tartan Video Collection. Yep. Wild Target, a sweet, hilarious black comedy. I mean, just had to get it. Didn't know what it was about. Any ideas, Wild Target? Nope. Here we go. My favourite. I give Quentin Tarantino a little bit of a hard time because I find some of his movies, particularly with dialogue, really grating. You know, I like a lot of the movies, but there's certain sort of dialogue scenes I'm like, oh my fucking God, I can't get through this. But this movie, very light on that, just superb, all-rounder, almost underrated. Jackie Brown. Great cast, great music. Yeah, for me, it's just the one I can get on with the most. Love it. Fucking the picture quality on this was fantastic as well. One of the best looking Laserdiscs I've seen. Absolutely fantastic. Here's another interesting disc. So again from Tartan Video, starring Angel Avilés and C.D. Lopez. This is My Crazy Life. Does that translate as the Vida Loca? All you Ricky Martin fans might be able to tell me that. So I don't know if this is in Spanish language, actually. This is a PAL disc as well from Tartan Video. Tartan Video, they used to release sort of a lot of cultural discs in the UK. Or Europe, I guess. So, yeah, not too much of an idea about this. I think it's some sort of teen drama. Had to pick it up for the quids. Here's one I've never seen either. It seemed interesting. If Only It Could Have Been Forever. It seems like it's got Phoebe Cates in it. Paradise. The guy I was buying from seemed to like this movie. I've not heard of this before. Interesting. I just get vibes. I got vibes of Blue Lagoon looking at the cover here. We'll give that a go at some point. Oh, and here's a movie I had to. This probably isn't the best release you can get of it, but one of the most touching movies I've ever seen. It stuck with me from a child, and I watched it again maybe last year. So, Robin Williams is an out-of-work doctor looking for a gig, so he gets a place in a institution for the mentally infirm and unstable, and they start developing a drug which starts to bring people out of their shells, like people that have like locked-in syndrome start coming back to life. Absolutely fantastically touching movie with Rob De Niro. Awakenings. I recommend this to absolutely anyone. One of the very best movies of its time, I'm sure. You don't hear too many people talking about it. Yeah, you got a great cast. Rob De Niro, Robin Williams, John Hurd, Max von Sydow. Fantastic. Check this out whatever way you can. Here we go, The Lowbrow, about a fantastic action movie. Christopher Lambert. This is the PAL version, Dolby Surround. The classic Fortress. I mean, you couldn't leave that on the shelf, could you really? Here's one I'm not familiar with. This is another, is this a Tartan Video? Sorry, Artificial Eye. It kind of looks like sort of tartan stylings. I think this is a French movie, which I've not seen. Amateur. Answers on a postcard, please. Here we go. Another low quality PAL analog disc. But we're bringing back those PAL CCAM 625 lines of resolution. This is The Rats. So I've seen snippets of this in the past. But the cover was great. And yeah, had to give it a go. Here's another Peter Weller science fiction movie. It's a bit of a sci-fi. This is Screamers. Not too bad. I only had this on a shoddy download in the past. Pretty 90s science fiction fare. Yeah, not too bad. And here we go. Part of the holy trinity of creatures or sort of aliens of the deep. When like The Abyss came out. And Leviathan, starring Peter Weller. This is probably, I don't know if it's the least of them. It's got Ferris Bueller's Mum in it, which elevates it high. And Miguel Ferrer, sorry. So this is Deep Star 6. Yeah, essentially, they're on a sea station under the water, and a creature comes and wrecks everything. This is sealed. Not bad. Here we go, back with a little bit of quality. It gets a bit of stick, not everyone's flavour of the month, but John Carpenter's Village of the Damned, Beware of the Children, widescreen Laserdisc. Had to have that, obviously, and I don't know if this is the last of the Werewolf movies, but I remember when this came out, being pretty excited about it, rented it straight away. Yeah, what do we say? But sealed, American Werewolf in Paris. I remember having some dodgy computer graphics. Yeah. Let's see. Right, down to the last few. Let's get through them quick. The Unfortunately, this was absolutely rotted to absolute hell. I really need the special edition. This is an old pal, Stodger of John Carpenter's The Fog. So this is one for framing because it's absolutely fucked via laser rot. Oh, and this one actually completely took me by surprise. I thought we'd been through all the Wolf movies, but no. This is Silver Bullet. Stephen King's Silver Bullet, no less. So Corey Haim is impaired in some way. I'm not sure if he's completely disabled, but he's in a wheelchair, and his uncle builds him like a sort of a kind of a snazzed up, sort of armoured mobility scooter. And that is the titular Silver Bullet. But yeah, it's a Wolf movie from the 80s, which had passed me by all my life. And the quality on this, it's a pan and scan release, but the soundtrack's fantastic. Some real great 80s genre movie hits in here. It's by Dino, it's from Dino De Laurentiis. It's got Gary Busey, Corey Haim, good quality. This is excellent. Seek that out if you've not seen that. I thought I'd seen all those Corey Haim movies, but that is great. And here we go, a little bit of quality. Again, I don't know where this guy got all this stuff from, but this is a Japanese release of Dario Argento's The Stendal Syndrome, which I've never seen. Big fan of his 70s, early 80s work. This one I've never heard of, or at least never seen. Kind of one of the ones you look through on the wiki and you're just like, yeah, one day, but here it was. And here it is. Now, I think this is the one that actually caught my eye in the first place. I was like, what the fuck is this? I think I might have seen this on one of the Wolfpack podcast videos. Maybe someone else had picked this up recently, but the great cover stuck out by a fucking mile. This is like, I'm not sure if it's like from the 30s or from the 20s. Yeah, very early, 1952, black and white serial. Zombies of the Stratosphere. Starring Leonard Nimoy. Very young Leonard Nimoy, I'm sure. Yeah, so Cliffhanger Cereal. This is 12 episodes of this, 12 adventure-packed episodes, including original trailer. I think it's spread over 2 Laserdiscs. Republic Pictures. I mean, it just looks fantastic. I'm not too familiar with these serials, so some sort of science fiction serial. Who knows? Looking forward to seeing that. But before we go, let's see if I can find the shop. 2 secs. Yeah, sorry, so here it is. If you can see this. Pine Dean Video Films Limited. So it looks like they used to sell these discs. That was the company, but I think they also had a portion of it. They were movie producers or local film producers. But this was their main line of business. And this is where all the stock was. The sort of range of formats they've had. VHS. Apparently there's something like 20,000 DVDs. And I've got having seen the stock, or some of the stock firsthand, I completely believe it. Crazy. So yeah, definitely going to have another visit to those guys. But yeah, we've really blown our load with those discs lately. I've not been able to get through all of those yet. So if I don't speak to you before, Merry Christmas. We have got some other great stuff to show that's non-Laserdisc related. Some Japanese consoles, some Japanese games, and more coming in the post. So if we don't have another video soon, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, keep it fucking laser. Yes.